Welcome to Midweek Service provided by the Church Sound Podcast. This is our version of tech news with your host, Prentiss Thompson. Have you ever wondered, how do I mic a drum set, or what about getting audio to my live stream? We're here for you. This is tech news, new product reviews, and everything you need to know about what you need to know. Welcome to Midweek
Thank you
Service.
for tuning in to another edition of the Church Sound Podcast, Midweek Service. I'm the humble host, Mr. Prentiss Thompson. And what we do every week, every Thursday, is we do product reviews, product training, and product application dealing with multimedia and AV ministry. Last week, we talked about communication between different departments. And today, we're going to do a product review on something I think is really, really important to enhance the sound quality inside of your service. And we're going to talk about today is the product by Peavey called the USB-P. The USB-P. So, let me just preface this on what not to do. Okay. I'm going to pull out my laptop. All right. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, and you're going to see my laptop, and you will see the 1/8" input, which is like your headphone input. And a lot of times, people will use that and send that to the mixer going to the stage. Don't do that. Don't do that. Your signal is so susceptible to noise, distortion, hum, buzz, because it's going through a unbalanced cable. So how do you remedy that? And why would you want to do that? And let me tell you the reasons why someone will use their computer on stage. Okay, first thing. I've done this many times. I'm going to a church and I'm doing my presentation. And in my presentations, I have audio on my presentation. I like to control my own presentation. I don't like to say, hey, go to the next slide, hey, go to the next slide. I like to control it, meaning that I want to go to the slide I want to go to. I want to go through the different things I want to go through. And then I want to play my audio as a presentation, as part of the presentation, but I need the sound to be good. So what normally happens is I have to bring an audio interface with me. This is what I normally bring. This is the Duet by Apogee, solid interface. And I use this for recording, especially if I'm on the road and I got to record things in my hotel room, or I need to be portable. I'm on a plane, anywhere. I could be editing video. I could be mixing a song, mixing a record, working on some music, doing background music, anything I need audio for. I want to make sure I'm going through a quality product like this. This is the Apogee Duet. And there'll be a link in the bio if you want to see this. Okay. But this is overkill. Why? Because an audio interface has inputs and outputs. So because it has inputs and outputs, it's complete overkill. This unit costs about $600, worth every penny. But for this playing things off stage, definite overkill. So this is where the USB-P comes in handy. What other reasons why you would use it? So you're in a praise band and you're playing your music from your computer and through a MIDI controller. So I'm going to share my screen. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, and those of you who are not, make sure you come over and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is Mainstage. Mainstage is part of the Logic Pro X family. It's been around for a while, and this is where you can get all your sounds inside of your computer and be able to use it and create your own sounds from your computer onto your keyboard. So what does that mean? That means kind of like I have a keyboard on stage, and say I have just a motif or a motive, and all the sounds are inside the keyboard. This is for the guy who's walking around with the sounds inside his computer and wants to be able to control the sounds inside of his computer with a MIDI controller, similar to this. So I want to show it to you. Let me get my screen back 1 second. Similar to this. This is the MIDI controller. It has no sounds in it, but it allows me to be able to control anything inside my computer. I use this on the road when I'm producing music, and all of my sounds are in my computer. So keyboard plays on stage, and he's coming out of his computer, and then he says, give me an 1/8-inch cable. Well, you just downgraded all the sounds you're trying to use, right? So how does that really, really, really help me? Doesn't help you. So this is where this product really, really, really shines. It has a USB-B input on the rear of the unit. And on the front of the unit, it has balanced XLR outputs, stereo outputs that could be switched from mono to stereo. Why is that important? Because when you're going out of your USB port, you're basically saying to your computer, I need all of my sounds to be as good as they possibly can be. So let me give you an example. In my studio, I use the Fireface UC as my interface. I'm gonna share my screen, right? Those of you who are listening, just know that you should watch this. Okay, so if you're looking at my screen, you're gonna see the meters, and you see right here, I've selected Fireface UC. I'm selecting my input, and on my output, I'm selecting my output. Same thing. So inside of your computer, you're able to select your inputs and your outputs. Why is that important? Because on the USB-B P by Peavey, it just has outputs because that's all you really need. Let me tell you, the most important thing is it's under $50. It's under $50. I'm gonna say it again. It's under $50. So if you're at church and you want to make sure you have this with you, with your team at all times, but for guests, for anybody that's going to be using a computer on stage, running tracks, meaning if say your MD is running Ableton, say they're running Logic Pro or Pro Tools, right? They don't need inputs. They're not recording. It isn't the outputs. It's not $200. It's not $400. It's not $500. It's $50. It's $50. So if you want to make sure you get this for yourself, okay, share my screen. This is where you want to go. Go right to the Church Sound Podcast website, and you want to go to the IVM store. And on the IVM store, which is the Invisible Ministry store, as a featured product, you see the USB-P. There it is. And if you're listening, just go to the website, churchsoundpodcast.com/IVM-store. Or just go to the site and just pick the page. Click the link. Takes you right there. You can get it for yourself. So do that. And I hope this is informative. I mean, aside from that, it really, really sounds good. It sounds great. And it's going to save yourself a lot of headaches, and it's going to keep your sound at a professional level at all times. All right? So I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you like, share, review. Send this to somebody that needs to hear it. Like I always say, I will see you in the Matrix.